Yeah. It's your boy Sunshine, aka Sky High Sunny.
And it's your girl Shamia Beyond. And we here with another episode. And today we have a special guest, J.O. Mairs. Welcome to the show.
What's up? Thank you all for having me, man.
Nah, you're welcome.
Nice to see you again, because I feel like I just seen you last week at the rap battle. Yeah, speaking of rap, okay, you got bars, okay? And like, I'm talking like some real lyrics, straight bars. So do you feel like this is something that's missing in the game right now?
I wouldn't exactly say it's missing. It's there. There's definitely a lot of artists that have it like that. It's just the culture is starting to shift over where people are starting to recognize it a little bit more. You know, like it was hot before, that was a thing. Things advance, things change as usual, but it's starting to come back around to the bars.
It's doing full circle around.
Yeah,
the four dimensions of rap.
Yeah, you know, it's coming back to it for sure.
No, I like that. That's amazing. With the whole rapping thing, and as we heard, you're in a battle rap, you're dropping bars and all of this.
Sorry to cut you off. I wasn't in the battle. I was just performing at the show.
But still, you have bars. Like, don't underestimate yourself. You have bars, right?
We're wondering why you weren't in the rap battle.
Oh, don't let me. No, I don't want it. No, you got it, right? My thing is, when did you start rapping?
Honestly, when I started rapping, I was probably like 12, 13, but it wasn't really a serious thing, you know?
Oh, so early age 10.
Yeah, you know, it started from like childhood, damn near, but like, it wasn't like, we're trying to rap and really trying to make something of it. We were just rapping because
it was fun.
It was fun. It was something to do, you know?
Were you one of those ones that start with like poetry and it was like, I could just keep going with the words?
It was rap. It was rap from the jump. Yeah, it was rap from the jump.
So what are the artists that influence you and what are the people you're currently listening to when it comes to like this rap? Or in the past, as a 12-year-old what was that rapper you was like, whoa, this guy is good?
Yeah, so if we're going to go back there to childhood, like the three that I was really listening to on like a level were DMX, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes. So those are like my three that I was like really listening to, you know?
No 50?
50 was a little later in the game, you know? But definitely 50, like Jadakiss, Styles, like that whole era of rap, like G Unit, D Block, Dipset. Cameron was like a big one for me too. Like there's a lot of basically that whole era, that like early 2000s music was like heavy for me.
How about now?
Now is crazy because like honestly, I listen to a lot of the same stuff. You know what I mean? Like the same people I was kind of listening to coming up, I still listen to them, but I don't listen to a lot of music outside of myself at the moment, you know?
So you kind of self-indulge.
That's what's up, though.
When I'm in a creative space where I'm like in my zone, like most of the time
you are your own juice.
Yeah, you know.
You're different.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right?
It's different. It's different when you're in that space, you know? Nice. So like I listen to a lot of stuff that I record that I'm like just listening to for reference, or like every time I do something new, like it's rinse cycle in the whip.
Oh,
you know
wow. Like,
so,
this shit is fire.
Yeah,
like.
basically, yeah.
Do you do the Gardner Express test?
What?
I mean, the test is wherever. I might not touch the Gardner. It might just be QEW, it might be 401.
I've had rappers tell me, like, I'll make the track, and to know if it's good or not, we just get on the Gardner Express or 401. If you could bump to it.
With the DVP, because it's like more like...
Yeah, right. If you could go with it, it's a banger.
I'm from Saga, so it's like, it's going to be the QEW or the 403.
Okay.
Because, you know, those are the highways.
Maybe?
Yeah. I know, maybe. I mean, but you still got to go through 403 to get there. But as a Saga guy... Yeah, I'll jump on the highway and bump the music.
Everyone should do that.
That's the real road test.
Yeah, that's the real road test right there.
That's how you know. That's how you know if it's gonna knock when someone else is driving with it. You know, you gotta listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Facts. And you know what? I just want to bring it back. So last Sunday, I seen you perform. I think that was my first time seeing you perform, actually. And like, the crowd was rocking. You came with like such a confident energy. Shout out to Wonder Star Creatives and Remy Creatives for the rap battle.
Yes, indeed.
It was lit. But were you always that confident? Is that something that you had to,
kind of like a very confident guy?
Yeah. But were you always like that, or like, because your stage presence is great, and like, talk to us about that.
So if we're talking stage, like I've been confident. The stage confidence just it grew as I grew older, you know, and as I did more shows and got more comfortable with handling the crowds and different dynamics of crowds. So that came later. With rap itself, I've always been confident because that's why I started rapping to begin with. You know, like we'd all rap for fun, like, but like when I just moved to or when I started meeting the guys around the area that I moved to in Saga, mans were like, yeah, we rap, you know. I'm like, oh yeah,
But
we're
do you really rap?
and at this point, I didn't really rap like that. It would just be me and my brother. We'd freestyle just for fun or whatever. But we'd literally just be joking around. So when the guys that were like, yeah, we rap, showed me their music, I was like, oh, you niggas is trash. I'm nice. So I'm like, that's when I started like, you know,
That's
making
why you
the
had
thing a
that
bit.
pat on your back, and
Yeah.
you just was like, hey, I could do this.
And then I've literally just felt like that since because
Oh,
I
that's
haven't really
amazing.
been running into people that are like
That
making me
out-rap
nervous.
you.
You know?
Shout out to the rappers that cannot out rap us. You make us do better.
You know what I mean?
just to piggyback off that question a little bit, like, what's a tip that you would give to, like, you know, emerging or upcoming artists to master the crowd engagement? Because you, at first, like, it's like something you got to ease into, right? Because, you know, sometimes artists, they be like, all right, when I say this, you say
Say
that.
that.
And everyone's like, But by the end, like, everybody was taking it. I'm still saying it. Like, I said it feel different. Like, yeah. So, like, yeah.
I mean,
Come on, share the sauce. Let's go.
it's one of those things where it's like you can't really teach it.
Oh.
You know, performing is something like this is the thing. If you look at it like this, that everything that involves like a crowd or doing things in front of people is a performance. So like,
Yes, it is.
if you go to church, the preacher is performing for you. You know, stand-up comedy is performance. Like anything, even if you're just a motivational speaker, there's ways, there's things you can do to captivate your audience. You
Yeah.
know, and you just got to be able to read the room and know how to deal with said audience. You know. Because not every show is going to be like Sunday. You know, sometimes I go to shows and the crowd's more difficult to work with, but you just have to talk to them different.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
was really going to ask that. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever faced a difficult crowd?
Yeah, many a time.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's just, you got to deal with them differently. You got to talk to them different. You might have to start singling people out and like, you know, making them feel like they're part of it. So like anyone's looking at you after that, like, yo, I might be the next person to get called out. You know what I mean?
In
Like,
essence, you're also a
Yeah,
motivational speaker too, just through rapping and performing.
right?
Love that.
Right? It's
Love
got to be like that sometimes, man.
Okay, that's amazing. Also, seeing that you're a rapper and a producer,
Yep.
which I think that's one of the top tier part of things you could do in music is if you could produce your own song and also put words to it your own self.
Right.
The question now is, what is the creative process like? Is it like you go in there freestyling first and you get the beat after, or do you like make the beat in mind for a certain song? Like, what does that look like?
To be real with you, like my creative process is kind of all over the place. It's just whatever hits that day. Like I might sit there and make 5 beats in a day, and then not write one word for 2-3 weeks. But then I might sit down and write 4 or 5 songs in like a couple days. You know, like it just depends on what's hitting at the time. So like,
So you kind of like go with the flow.
yeah, for lack
like
of a better
that.
term, like I just go with the flow with it because some days you're not gonna feel like writing, and the key is to not get down on yourself about it. You know, don't feel like, oh man, I'm in a slump. Like, no, just do something else. If there's something else that you do something else, man. I make beats and I rap, so I might just say, okay, let me make a beat. Or if I don't feel like rapping, I might say, let me write a song, like, you know, like an R&B joint or something, you know, just something.
R&B
just to get
joint?
the-
Okay,
Yeah. The bag is deep.
I'll
babe.
be here.
The bag is deep.
I'll be here
Trust me.
for it. But like, do you have one of those ones where you're just on a regular random day? It's not about music, but a bar comes to your head and you're like, okay, now I got to go to the studio.
Yeah, it's happened before. It's happened before. It's not
on,
a
you know a
regular
real rapper
like,
when
yo,
you see one.
It's definitely happened before where I just might be like, I might be listening to something, not even rap. I might just be listening to something and it sparks an idea and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I got to do this right now.
Gotta go to the studio right now.
I got to
Love that. Love that.
for sure.
That's what's up. So you have a group, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Run and Gun. Okay, so you know what made you decide to get together with Heavy G? Like, talk to us about that.
So shout out Heavy G.
Shout out Heavy G.
I've known him for a long time. You know, I've known him since we were young, since high school, you know.
Okay.
So he was actually a homie of my older brother.
Oh, wow.
So like he used to rap around that time when I was just starting, he was a little bit more advanced than me because he's a little older than me, right? Like he has a couple years on me, so I was always a fan. Long story short, and when I was listening to his music, I didn't even know it was him. I just knew him as my brother's homie. But when someone was sending me the music and I'm listening, I'm like, yo, this guy's sick. And then I found out it was him. I was like, yo, dog, we gotta work. We gotta work. So like since back then, we've been cool. We always been doing work together and whatnot. And then like it just came to a point where like we were both doing music for so long, and we actually wanted to do a show. That's what it was.
Oh, nice.
And we were talking to a homie of ours, Rich Kid. Trying
Rich
to like
Kid, the producer?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, Rich Kid, the producer. Shout out Rich, man. Rich is on.
Shout out Rich.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of good things about him too.
Yeah, you know, he's a talented guy for sure. But he was the one that was like, you know, if you guys want to do a show, because we were like trying to get him to help us with finding a venue and whatnot. And he's just like, why don't you guys just do like a little project, so at least when you do the show, you have something to promote. So we're like, all right, let's just do a little project. So we whipped up the project. Then COVID hit. And we ended up like just sitting on the project for a minute, and we are just like, all right, yo, let's just put it out, because whatever, man, who cares, you know?
COVID.
Put it out, went crazy, and then after that, we were basically recorded a second project like really quickly. Like within the course of like a couple of weeks, we had another project done. So we are just like, yo,
you guys are real writers.
yeah. But it's like, yo, if we're gonna put out a sequel or a second project, then I think we should rebrand as like a group. So it's like, when we come out with it, it's like, it's not like, oh, it's just two artists that been doing their thing that came together. It's like Run and Gun's a brand new monster.
Yeah.
You know?
And how did you guys come up with the name Run and Gun?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Real
like-
curious.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a cult.
I run. You got
Yeah.
the
Nah,
gun.
Okay.
What is it?
So the first project that we did, it was called Contra.
Oh, the
And
game.
You remember the game Contra,
Yes.
right? So the style of game that Contra is, it's considered a run and gun game. You're just literally just running through the level, shooting shit
Yeah.
up. You know? So the project was called Contra because it was like a 2-player game, two mans just running through, tearing up the place, you know? And then on top of that, like, one of our first singles was called Stretch 4. So we have a lot of basketball reference. And on top of the project being called Contra, when we were trying to come up with a name, it was the first thing. Like, we were like, we should think of something. And Goo's like, Run and Gun would be cold. And I was like, yeah, that's sick. We'll get back to it. Let's think of some ideas and get
Did you
back
guys
to
come up
it,
with
you
pick and
know?
roll?
Sucker back.
Pick and roll? Nah. But like Run and Gun. So basically like the premise of that is like, it's just like a, you know, just keep moving. We just keep moving. We stay active. We stay consistent, you know?
No violence though.
No
violence. Just straight
No
peace
guns
and
for
bars.
real.
Nah, we're making music.
The
This
only
is
violence
about
here is the
music.
bars.
Yeah, very violent on the microphone.
There we go.
But-
There we
Nah, it's
go.
about the music, but yeah,
No,
it's just
talking about being violent on the microphone, right? You have this verse on Black Sheep,
Oh shoot!
right? Definitely shooting bars. So tell us about that. How did that collaboration with Roman come about?
That's another long time one. Like, Ramon's my dog from time. Like I've known him from we were young. We were both like mad young when we were both coming up in the city. Like we were getting recognized as like the youngins. You know, there was a few of us. So it was like me. It was Ramon. It was Eric Flo. It was Redway.
OGs.
Yeah, you know, like because this is like back then when we were all young coming up.
Back in the days. We can
Back
say
in the
that
days,
now.
I can say that now. Yeah, I'm an older head now. You know, I can say those type of things. You know, I'm seasoned.
Yeah.
You know, but like, yeah, man, I've known him since back then. And we've always done collabs. Like he'd always hit me up like, yo, I got this record. I want to get you on. I'll send him something like, yo, I want a verse on this. You know. So anytime he has like a project where, because you know he does this thing. He does some R&B, he does some dance.
He's good.
You know, he has a lot going on too. So whenever it comes to some rap shit, he usually taps in and says, yo, let's get something done. You know, so that's kind of how that came about, you know?
That's what's up. Yo, I noticed like you're really on point with like the brandings. You mentioned like, okay, like let's do the rebrand and market like this. So marketing is like very essential when it comes to like, well, pretty much anything.
Extremely. Yeah.
But I noticed you also have a brand because every like in all your videos, you know, you're rocking the gear. So like, yo, talk to us about the gear.
Yo.
Yeah, that's like
I mean,
major key.
yeah, I mean, it's just that. It's just about having a brand, you know, and like Mairs Society as a brand is like, I wanted something that was separated from J.O. Mairs. Because I'm someone who's like, as much as I can say, yo, DMX was my favorite rapper, I never would have put on a t-shirt that just said DMX on the front. But if you give me the shirt with the Rough Riders R on it, and it says Rough Riders, it's like, yo, that looks fire, and it's a brand. It's not like I'm wearing the person's name like that.
That's very true.
You know, so that's kind of what was the thought process when I was like, yo, I need to create something to pair with the artistry that's its own thing at the same time, you know? And then at the same time, like, I'm very particular about clothes and stuff that I wear. So, like, if I could actually just design everything that I don't know if I want to go that far, just because I'm not like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm as open-minded where fashion's concerned to start calling myself that, you know. But like,
got it.
I'm very particular with what I like. So if I can design my own shit and just, you know,
I think it's also a great way for people to support you.
yeah, for sure.
You know,
Right?
so like,
For sure.
do you have merch? Do you have a new collection? Like, because I feel like as artists, like, it's an investment in itself. And if people
Right.
have like other ways and various ways to support you, then like,
They
yo,
should.
let us
And
know.
you should get
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Tell us about it.
So that's why I created it as a brand, where I didn't really want to look at it like artist merch.
Right.
You know, so if something was to happen and I was like, I'm not making music no more,
Yeah.
I'll still sell tracksuits. I'll still sell hats. I'll still, you know, it's its own thing, you know?
Yeah.
So usually it's just kind of by hearsay, or, you know, you reach out to me, say, yo, I want this one now. I'll get it done, because
Okay.
I don't like sit on stock, you know? So,
Got it.
but yeah, anyone can hit me up. There's a Mairs Society Instagram, and then there's a J.O. Mairs Instagram. So the Mairs Society one's more anything that has to do with the brand, gear.
Sure, you get a
know?
tracksuit, eh?
Yeah, man.
Check
I
it
was
out,
going to come
guys.
up
Check
with a
it out.
tracksuit today, but I was like, you know,
He said
let
he's
me
do something
save it.
different.
Yeah, I mean, do something a little different. Put the jacket on today, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But like, you know,
He said he's particular with the things
With
that he
the
wears, so
look.
the fabric's probably on point. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That
you know, it's good quality stuff.
fabric.
Good quality.
Good
I
quality,
could,
you
I'm
know?
looking at it and I can tell.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the jacket is Mairs.
Yeah, the jacket is
Okay.
Mairs.
Jacket, you know?
Listen.
Black on black
Come
tee, you know what
on.
I mean?
And a chain to MS.
A little something,
Come
nothing
on.
crazy, you know?
Love
On
that.
brand.
It's just branding, you know?
Yeah.
go.
So you want to talk to us about your new single, "Do It For Me," from your project Joshua? Like,
So Do It For Me is not even on Joshua. So that was just something where, like, Joshua is like a project that I made with a producer named Josh Grant. So
Okay.
his name is Josh Grant. I'm J.O. Mairs. The J is for Joshua. We're both named Joshua. So like, it was kind of something where
On brand.
it was just like it was kind of like a play on words. You know?
Yeah.
And he's a crazy producer. So shout out Josh Grant. But like, it was kind of just something where we're like, all right, let's put this together, you know? Do It For Me was just my intro to the new year to say, yo, like, you guys are getting content this year. You
Okay.
know, I kind of
Say
just
no
like
more.
wrote it. I made the beat and recorded it and wrote it in the same day.
In this-
And then I shot the video and put it out like 2 days later. Just because. 'Cause I was like, yo,
Working.
I got to start doing it like
Man
this. This is
said,
how
"Do
I
it
got to
for
start giving
me,"
the content
and I'm
out.
doing
You know?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
love
that's it. That's
love
it.
So
Before-
when's Joshua coming out?
Yeah.
So we just kind of locked this in. So
Okay.
we'll have the release party, the show, all that is going to be late April.
I heard your shows be selling out too.
Yeah, they have to.
Can
Yeah.
we get like media passes and come
Hell yeah.
backstage
Yeah,
and
hell
hook
yeah.
up with you?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah.
I got you on
Toronto
that.
Top
Most
6 will
definitely.
be there. So one last thing for everyone. What do you want to tell them?
Drop some bars.
Oof. I'm going to say last thing, Joshua coming soon. I'll save the bars for the next post. Make sure y'all check it out.
All right.
You know, but yo, Joshua coming soon. Mairs Society all day, every day. JO
No
season. Let's go.
problem. Thank
Let's
you.
go. Thank you so much, you guys. Make sure you tap in.
Make sure you tap
Joshua,
in.
coming
And it's your
soon.
boy Sunshine.
And it's your girl, Shimmy Beyond.
Thank you.